I'm Alicia, Camacho, and welcome to this week's episode. This week, my episode comes out on Friday the 13th, and usually there is a big sort of hype and fear around Friday the 13th, and so I wanted to check out for myself what exactly was the whole history behind it, because I'm a curious cat. I always like to research and give you guys some interesting facts about why we celebrate things. I went and I researched as to why the 13th or Friday the 13th was considered not so lack-a day. Why are we so scared of Friday the 13th? A little bit of information for you guys. There is an actual phobia for the number 13. It's called triskaidekaphobia. 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 Let that sink in. It sounds scarier than anything else. But it's literally for people who have a fear of the number 13. I don't know what 13 ever did to you, but I feel like you should just let him be. And you just let yourself be, and then that's it. I don't think there needs to be a fear of the number 13. But anyway, and then there is a fear of Friday the 13th. Now, I'm not going to try and attempt to say the name or the word because it is in Greek, but I will break it up for you and then you can learn how to put everything together. So the first word is paraskevi. Okay, paraskevi means Friday. Decatres, decatres, okay, which means 13 in Greek. Now you can just put all of those words together with phobia at the end and you can say the long, very complicated word. So where did the whole fear of Friday the 13th start? Because like everything else, there has to be an origin, there has to be a reason why people thought that the 13th was not a great day and Friday was also not a great day. What was the combination? Why wasn't it Thursday the 12th kind of thing? When I was doing the research, I should have expected that it should have had something to do or related to religion, and it was no different. This time though, it's related to a very specific event that is coming up. It is related to the Last Supper. What do you mean, Alicia? The Last Supper? Well, as we all know, Jesus had 12 disciples, and including him, that made them a group of 13. They went and had Last Supper on a Thursday, technically on the 13th of Nisan, which is Passover month. So the 13th actually fell on a Thursday and not on a Friday, but you know, who's checking these things? And it was that night that Judas, the last disciple on the list of disciples, betrayed Jesus. So he was technically number 13. And the rest was just really bad afterwards, but then really good afterwards as well. But you get what I mean. He betrayed Jesus, and so therefore the number 13 has been associated to Judas Iscariot. And that's basically it. It is such a big superstition that there are people who will refuse to sit at the table if there are 13 people. They feel that they are taunting death, and they're all like, hey, they're like playing a game of dodgeball with death. They're like, however, the speculation for Friday the 13th about this and related to the Last Supper only came around the 19th century. Before then, it wasn't really considered as anything. So that's great. A book and a movie based on the book. The book by Thomas W. Lawson. Thomas W. Lawson wrote a book called Friday the 13th. Now, I don't know the contents of the book. However, it was enough to create a movie. It was enough to have people have a suspicion and create a suspicion around the idea of Friday the 13th. And therefore, we have Friday the 13th being a whole suspicious thing because of a book which was supposedly written to create chaos on Wall Street. So, makes you wonder what is actually going on. All these conspiracy theories and come on. Another related event to Friday the 13th or the 13th was King Philip of France, and he owed a lot of money primarily to the church. So he, in order to clear his debt, he did Pope Clementine's or Clements. He was the fifth one. He did his bidding by rounding up all the Knights Templars and burning them at the stake for idolatry and all sorts of things that were really untrue about the Poor Knights Temple, so they just died for no reason. They died to clear some king's debt. So, and then there is reference to the 13th and Friday in the Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown, and that is again like the only superstition about Friday the 13th. Are you entertained? This didn't add or stop the hype or the superstition around Friday the 13th in a lot of countries. For the Greeks, Tuesday was actually considered the bad luck day, and if the 13th fell on the Tuesday, it was considered very bad luck. Why? Because Tuesday is the third day of the week, and 13 was just an unlucky number, and it had a lot also to do with the Greek history, such as Constantinople falling to the Fourth Crusaders. Also something to do with the Ottoman Empire overtaking them. Just, yeah, so all apparently happened on the 13th. So associated with Ares, the god of war, and how all these things would happen in like around April 13th, you know. So finally, the idea that bad luck comes in threes. So already Tuesday is the third day, 13 has a 3 in it, and then every bad thing happens in threes. So it's going great so far, right? In Italy though, the number 13 is actually considered a good luck number, right? So now things are looking up for 13, right? In Italy, 13 is a good luck number, and 17 is actually the bad luck number. And it's mostly because of the way that it's written in Roman numerals. And if you like move the letters around, which why would you do that? It comes to the word vixi, which means I have lived. Speaking about you in past tense, and it means that death is imminent, and it's essentially just a bad luck omen. So that's interesting. People are afraid of this day like I am afraid of spiders. If you haven't seen me afraid of spiders, just stay tuned to my Instagram. They're everywhere lately. So this fear just literally spills over into everything, right? People on Friday the 13th avoid doing anything that is remotely associated with their usual routine. They don't travel, they don't even go into work. Some people actually stay in bed the whole day because something bad could happen and they're trying to avoid it. However, based on several studies that have occurred and people have conducted, the day is actually pretty normal. If you balance all the studies out, it's just an ordinary day. There's not too many accidents, or maybe occasionally there's the 1 or 2 bit more extra, but nothing that warrants the day being considered bad luck or full of superstition. Like, there's just nada. Like people and society and all things that we do, we blow everything out of proportion. We create hype and fear and all of this nonsense around something that literally has no basis and no anything. There is no reason at all. Considering though now that there wasn't much more information, research for me to go on, I thought, okay, well, if Friday the 13th doesn't have anything, maybe 13 has something related to it, because why else would it be Friday the 13th and not Friday the 14th, for instance? So I went to go research the number 13. Again, Judas Iscariot popped up again. Judas, it seems like you're the one who started all of this nonsense. The number 13 is a very much avoided number. Like, hotels don't have a 13th floor, airplanes don't have a 13th seat, or at least they used to not have one. Elevators don't have a 13th button to press on, so you can't go to the 13th floor, because people have this irrational fear of the number 13. You know, that's such a huge discrimination against the number. However, in maths, for instance, the number 13 is quite a interesting number, right? It is the 6th prime number. It is one of 3 Wilson's prime number. Now I tried to what is a Wilson's prime number? I don't know. I was reading and I was trying to understand it. Gibberish. It was just no. So if you want to know what a Wilson's prime number is, you're gonna have to look that one up yourself, because nothing. There's also a Fibonacci number. Again, I don't know what a Fibonacci number is. This is considered a happy number. I don't know what that means. It's considered a lucky number in mathematics because it is a natural number and it is related to Siva or Sieve. Then in certain languages, the number 13 is the first compounded number. So in English, it's like 13. Languages like Portuguese and Spanish, it's just another number. So in religion, you would think that maybe this is where we'd hit the mother load. Shia or Shia Islam has some sort of remarkable significance on the 13th day of the month of Rajab. I hope I'm saying this correctly. It was the birth of Imam Ali. Okay, but in Sunni Islam, the number 13 holds no significance at all. In Catholicism, Fatima, the Lady of Portugal, in 1917, when she appeared to the little shepherds, would appear on the 13th day for 6 months. Then in Judaism, the number 13 is considered significant because it is when a boy turns into a man and then he has his bar mitzvah. Then 13 is the number of principles in the Jewish faith according to Maimonides. He was a medieval Sephardic philosopher and that's what he was. And so that's what we know when it comes to religion. Again, there's really nothing much. So some other things. There's normally this occurrence of 13 full moons. And back in the day when we had monks calculating the calendars, this would really just be really unfortunate for them. It would make their lives a little bit difficult because every 3rd or 4th year there would be a 13th moon and it would just mess up the whole calendar system. So they were not a fan. Hammurabi's code. So Hammurabi was a king in Babylon in 1780 BC and he wrote a whole bunch of laws and guidelines on how to govern his people. And while his code wasn't numbered, it is believed that there was a 13th point that was then omitted. Guys, that is it. There is nothing more on Friday the 13th other than everything that I've just mentioned to you in this video. And even some of the stuff that I did not mention because it was really boring. And I was just like, seriously? Is it normal to have a fear of the number 13 or Friday the 13th? No, it is not normal. It is not okay. There is literally no reason. There is no point, no reason, no anything as to why people are afraid of 13. Or Friday the 13th. Some people like it's just a number, and after all this searching, I was hoping for something juicy. I was hoping for like cults or something, you know, something that would make this whole number worth the hype. But there is literally no hype. It is the most hypeless thing that we could ever hype up. Like there is no point to Friday the 13th. That is the end of this week's episode. It's a little bit of a uneventful one, I might add. I apologize. Actually no, it's just how we roll. If you want to follow me on my social media, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is Alicia Camacho _official. And then if you would like to purchase a book, the links are in the description below, and it would be really great if you could support me. Please like, share and subscribe to this episode and to my channel. And yeah, that's it, guys. Remember, you are awesome, you are great, and you are loved, and I will see you next week.